Welcome to the Art Project. Today we're going to do a little experimentation. This is one of the things in the AP Studio Art portfolio exam that's extremely important, experimentation. I'm going to do this in my sketchbook because I can, and I want a record of what I'm doing. I don't want to lose this. I want to be able to keep up with it. So I'm going to do this in my sketchbook. The first thing I'm doing is protecting the rest of my sketchbook because I'm going to get a little messy here. So I put a couple of pieces of newspaper behind. Then I taped it off, and now I'm covering it with clear gesso. This will help keep stuff from bleeding through the paper. The newspaper you just saw me putting down on top of it was to kind of blot it and get excess gesso off so that it'll dry faster. And now I'm just going to kind of spread some gold paint. I was once told by an artist that if you put gold in your paintings that rich people will want to buy it. I don't know if that's true or not, but sounds like a good idea to me. I used to be kind of like against gold paint because it was like I thought like if you're going to do gold you should actually paint gold, not use the cheating stuff. Anyway, it's okay. Use gold paint. It's good stuff. Here I am going over the gold with a little bit of white paint to kind of prep these two circles for a gel medium transfer, a polygloss medium transfer. And so first I'm just putting some white paint down, and I'm going to let that dry. After I put the white paint down and it's dried, I'm then going to put some gel medium, some gloss gel medium, gloss medium and varnish, Liquitex. And so I put this on here, I spread it around, and I want to keep it kind of thick, not too thick, but thick enough that it doesn't dry real fast, because then I'm going to take this picture of these two people, this couple, and put it down into the gel medium. Now I found two images in two different magazines of the same ad with the same two people, and I thought that would give a nice little sense of repetition and duplicity, so I put it down on the next page. I let it dry for 24 hours, and then I tore the excess paper off, took some water, squirted it on there, let it soak in a little bit, and then started to wipe away the paper. Now you'll notice the ad that was on the side facing up is gone now, and the pictures of the couple is now the only thing showing. That's because the ink from the side that I wanted stayed in the polygloss medium. Now I had to go through and let it dry a little bit, see if I got enough off, then spray it again, rub it off again, spray it again, rub it off again, a couple of times until I got all the paper off. You'll notice that not all of the paper or not all of the ink stuck. You can see little streaks of white where it peeled up. Well, that's just the nature of this particular transfer method. If you want it to be completely clear and concise, then what you need to do is glue the picture down and not worry about the transfer. The transfer method is so that you get, partly so you get this kind of effect. I took some gold paint and I cleaned up the edges just a little bit. I didn't want to get too crazy with it, but I did want to get rid of some of the ink that stuck because the gel medium squeezed out from under it. And then I drew what I think of as a kind of a ornate frame. I did not think about it or measure it. You can get all elaborate with it if you want to and make it perfect, but I just kind of did a rough outline. Wanted to make it look a little bit like an old antique frame, but or kind of give the idea, but without wasting a whole lot of time on it. Then I painted around it with some black and wiped that black off with a paper towel. I did this a little bit at a time. If you do the whole thing and then go back to wipe it off, some of it will dry and you won't be able to get it off. So make sure you do it little spots at a time and then wipe it off with a paper towel. I left some of the paper white on purpose, again, just to give texture and atmosphere around these pictures, maybe like a worn wall or I don't know, tattered table. I'm not sure what the overall appearance is, but just to give it some texture and atmosphere. And then went back with some black paint to create sort of like shadows and ornamentation on the frame. I just kind of faked it. Again, this is an experiment in my sketchbook. If I decide I want to do this on a full-scale painting, then I can take my time a little bit more with the frame part of it if I want to. And then after this black paint dried, for this little ornamentations, I took some more gold paint, which is pretty transparent, and painted over the black again. Put a little black there for highlighting underneath the frame. I took the tape off first, and then I went back with the gold paint over the black ornamentation. It's always fun to reveal the painting when you're done. So here I am now taking that gold paint and going over the edges of it. It was fun. I kind of learned a little bit as I went. I learned a little bit more about the transfer method with the polygloss medium. I've done it before, but every time you do it, you learn a little bit more. You get a little bit better at it. I tore a hole in my paper, and I used this to kind of fix that hole. Just put a little piece of paper from the back of my sketchbook behind it. So thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And now it's your turn to go and make some art. Get experimental with it today.